Oh, my friends, I got good news for you today. Get out those cell phones. Guys, this is Howard Riell, Real Truth. You're in the right place at the right time, and I got some good news for you from the Rutherford Institute, Dateline, Philadelphia. In a victory for the First Amendment, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit Court has ruled that citizens and journalists have a right to record police in public without fear of retaliation. Attorneys for the Rutherford Institute had filed a friend of the court brief in the case, arguing that the right of citizens to make recordings of public law enforcement activities is essential to protecting the citizen press, which plays an ever-increasingly important role in the dissemination of information. A lower court had previously ruled that the city of Philadelphia could not be sued by those who were arrested or physically assaulted by police, allegedly for having filmed police carrying out their duties in public. The Third Circuit opinion and amicus brief in Fields versus City of Philadelphia and Geraci versus City of Philadelphia are available at www.rutherford.org. Affiliate attorneys Jason blah 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 blah. Police body cameras will never serve as an effective check on police misconduct as long as the cameras can be turned on and off at will and the footage remains inaccessible to the press. However, technology makes it possible for Americans to record their own interactions with police, and they have every right to do so without fear of arrest or physical assault, said constitutional attorney John W. Whitehead, president of the Rutherford Institute and the author of Battlefield America, The War on the American People. The ability to record police interactions in public provides for greater accountability when it comes to police interactions with the citizenry and should be preserved as a necessary right of the people, unquote. And so, my friends, here's how it lays out. We are pro-law enforcement, always, because the majority of cops are doing a good, solid, honest, righteous job. When you come across a cop who's doing something that's not honest, not righteous, who's brutalizing people, get out the phone, record them. If they tell you have to stop, tell him he's a liar. If he tells you it's illegal, tell him he needs to start reading books. Refer him to the Rutherford Institute, rutherford.org. You're allowed to record police in public, on the streets. Get their names, get their badge numbers, and if they hassle you for doing something that's completely legal and constitutionally protected, then talk to their superiors about it. Get yourself a lawyer. We're pro-cop, but we're pro-honest cop. We're pro-responsible cop. And I don't see any professional, responsible cop having a problem with that. It's Monday. It's Real Truth. We'll be back.
Great Plains Power has been providing a vital electrical power system to the Rocky Mountain area since 1982. Our system is high on the sun to make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to any situation, from power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interconnected systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities on emergency lighting, all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to greatplains.com. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-05-245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help.
All right, guys, let's kick it off. Last week we were talking about fake news. Fake news spelled CNN. Here is my colleague Mark Levin having his way with some punk named Brian Stelter, who has a talk show on CNN, lies his ass off every time he's on the air. I'll let Levin tell you himself. Here we go. My friends, Brian Stelter is a nose-picking punk. That's why he's on CNN. He lies, he lies, he lies. He pretends to be a journalist. He's nothing. He's a media whore. And if you're still watching CNN after all the times I've told you not to, well, you can't complain when they fill your head with garbage, make-believe information and fake news. Item from Bloomberg: although he's been thwarted so far in his legislative agenda before Congress, most notably on health care, President Donald Trump has a big opportunity to reshape another branch of government outside his control, the federal judiciary. My friends, when we come back, I'm going to finish this item because it's just that important. You're listening to Real Truth. Go nowhere.
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This, the America News Network.
For I testify to everyone who hears the words of the prophecy of this book. If anyone adds to these things, God will add to him the plagues that are written in this book. And if anyone takes away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part from the book of life and from the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. Revelation 22:18.
American Window Tinting Incorporated in Flagtown reminds parents to keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
Guys, let me finish this item. By the way, this is Howard Riell. The show's called Real Truth. I know that because I named it myself. August 24th will be 9 full years I will have been on the air. You're welcome to join me on the 24th. I'll try and get a special guest for you. I'm not telling you who it'll be. But this business about Donald Trump with an opportunity to reshape another branch of government outside his control, the federal judiciary. This comes from Bloomberg. I'll continue. He's already moved swiftly to fill an unusual inherited vacancy on the Supreme Court, and now his aides are working their way through a large number of openings in the lower federal courts. Some of his first picks are up for Senate committee vote this month. Justice Neil Gorsuch, with only a few months on the high court under his belt, already embodies the kind of influence Trump seeks to have on the third branch. Gorsuch, who replaced the late Antonin Scalia, reestablished the 5-4 advantage conservatives have long enjoyed when it came to most hot-button social issues. Gorsuch has cast consistently conservative votes on such topics as Trump's travel ban, gun rights, and the separation of church and state. He doesn't even turn 50 until August, unquote. My friends, if you took everything that Donald Trump has accomplished since January 20th, and it's a mountain, and you pushed it aside and only looked at the judiciary, that alone would be worth having him as president. Here is the vice president, Mike Pence, a rare guest shot on Rush Limbaugh. Here we go.
or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-05-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help. Now this is the testimony of John, Jew and three Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21.
The associates at your 24-hour wall, not yet behind. No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, justice, or courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women and their families will fulfill for our freedom every day. Send the military care package today to let them know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. This message is from the associates at your 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care. Elizabeth lost a man in the drug problem about it. We know our kids will be approached at early age. We want to inform the youngsters in our community who have had strength at no drug. They provide examples to their peers and families
to be the best they can be. That's your most visible locker plant located at 366 Grand Street in the serving our area since 1943 and specializing in naturalized PPE and complete custom process. Call 303-688-2240. That's 303-688-2240. If you're picking 1, 2, 5, or more nutritional supplements, please simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfoods, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Men, women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfoods from BioH.com. And now it's just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with one of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfoods for the brain helps with focus, memory, literacy, and mood. If you increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfoods has zero toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioH.com. Spelled BioHE.com. BioH.com. Or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. Bio is advanced organic.
My friends, you saw it yourself last week. You saw it yourself. Europe loves Donald Trump. They love what he's saying. They love what he's doing. But, of course, if you watch CNN, which stands for the crap news network, you'll never find that out because they're not talking about it. Here's someone who is talking about it. Fox News' Tucker Carlson. Take it away, Tucker. And by the way, my friends, let me cut in here for a second. I absolutely agree with those findings. I think that selecting 6 countries out of what? There are over 50 Muslim countries. That's not going to do very much at all. We got to be real. We got to be honest. When Donald Trump first started running for president, he was talking about a Muslim ban. People started screaming, and so he's backtracked from that. But that's what America needs. We need a moratorium on Muslim immigration to the United States as step 1. This piddling little ban that they're fighting about in the 9th Circuit Court, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Let's go back to Tucker. And my friends, that's why it's important to transcend the major media. Don't get your information from CNN and MSNBC and ABC, CBS, and all those guys because they lie to you. Do you get it? They lie. They would have you think, just as these guys are saying, they're spot on. They would have you think that Trump is some bizarre creature who's going to destroy the world, when in fact, outside of those media outlets, most people agree with Trump. So tune out, turn off the major media. Tune into Fox News, tune into Real Truth, if you'll permit me to say so. The reason the media is not covering what Trump is proposing and accomplishing is because he's proposing and accomplishing things that work, things that make America better, things that solve problems, things that are good for Americans, and the media doesn't want Americans to hear that. They want Americans to pine away for Hillary Clinton. God help us. That's because the elites in government, both in Europe and here, have figured out how to sweet-talk voters and to con us and scam us. And we fall for it. That's our fault. Item from Breitbart. The General Synod of the Church of England has voted to welcome transgender people by considering preparing a church service as a way to, quote, mark a person's gender transition. The official church of the United Kingdom voted 4-1 in favor amongst the clergy and more than 2-1 amongst the laity, people who are not clergy, at the 4-day synod. That this synod, recognizing the need for transgender people to be welcomed and affirmed in their parish church, call on the House of Bishops to consider whether some nationally commended liturgical materials might be prepared to mark a person's gender transition. Unquote. My friends, instead of the church opening its arms to transgender people, I would much prefer the psychiatric community open its arms and extend its couches to transgender people. Not out of hate, not out of derision, not out of ridicule, but because transgender people need help, and no one wants to see them get it, except us. We'll be back.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16.
Piccolo's restaurant in Denver finds that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's restaurant in Denver. It's not only the best Italian and Mexican cuisine, it's the people who care. Give them a call, 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolo.
and raise the family. Realize their job is dangerous, sometimes dangerous. Call 352-2233. They're on the air because they care. Focus the uniform people in green. Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
Guys, welcome back to Real Truth. I'm Howard Riell. And Faith Goldie from Rebel Media is just about to explain to us how the European Union made Greece a Muslim ghetto. Now, just between you and me, I don't really care about Greece. And if they have a Muslim ghetto, it's their own fault. The only reason I'm putting Faith Goldie on now to talk about it is to help ensure that America doesn't become filled with Muslim ghettos. Because if that happens, then the lights go out. Here's Faith Goldie. It's Muslim empire, my friends. Absolutely right. Faith Goldie is correct. And it's coming here. It's happening here, and we've got to stop it. Before we go to a break, item from CNSnews.com. U.S. economy added 220,000 jobs in June, the best showing since February, and well above analysts' expectations of only 174,000. All together now, my friends. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, President Trump. Yes, thank you, President Trump. There is nothing else on the horizon to account for this turnaround other than the Trump presidency. That's because he's doing all the things he promised he would do, but which the mainstream media won't report that he's doing. Take a break and we'll come back and we'll finish it up, my friends. More Real Truth ahead. Stay tuned.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit, whether they are God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit of confesses, Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh, is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh, is not of God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming, and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any type of nobility. Article 1, Section 10. If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Ferris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Ferris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic, comparative supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Ferris Survival. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is funded by the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-05-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help.
Item from the Associated Press, Dateline Paris. Paris authorities evacuated nearly 2,800 migrants on Friday from ever-expanding makeshift street camps in the French capital as Europe contends with an upsurge in new arrivals crossing the Mediterranean. In heavy summer heat, groups of primarily African men and a few families lined up to board buses with a mixture of relief and apprehension. "We need dignity," read a handwritten sign next to a mattress stretched across cobblestones and surrounded by litter. Unquote. My friends, let me help you a little bit. You want dignity? You need dignity? Good. Coming to someone else's country and begging for handouts is probably not the best way for you to go about achieving dignity. Stay home, build it into a place you're proud of and that your children will be proud of, then you will discover dignity. Item from the San Francisco Chronicle. A Bay Area legislator was shocked when he learned from a young constituent that while Californians cannot legally consent to sex until they're 18, they can, with the permission of a parent and a judge's order, get married at any age, even if their spouse is many years older. I thought, that can't be true in California, said State Senator Jerry Hill, a Democrat from San Mateo. We found out that it is true in California and true in many states throughout the country. But Hill's resulting proposal to bar juveniles from getting hitched has been watered down after it prompted strong objections from civil rights groups, including the American Civil Liberties Union. Unquote. My friends, always count on the ACLU to flee what's right and rush to help people who are sick or criminals. They want to maintain the ability in that state to marry children. So much for the ACLU. Item from the CapeCodTimes.com. 3 teenagers arrested on Mayflower Beach Tuesday afternoon after allegedly having sex in the water while a crowd gathered to cheer them on. And a friend who police say didn't listen when he was told to leave the area will not be arraigned for at least 6 months, an Orleans District Court judge said, unquote. My friends, people having sex at a beach, no matter who's standing around them, men, women, children, that's the disgusting level that some Americans have fallen to. And it makes me sick. Item from the Associated Press. U.S. factories expanded at a robust pace in June, a likely sign of strength for the U.S. economy as new orders, production, and employment each improved. The Institute for Supply Management says its manufacturing index rose to 57.8 last month from 54.9 in May. Anything above 50 signals factory activity is increasing. The measure now stands at its highest level since August 2014, pointing to solid economic growth, unquote, altogether. Now, thank you, President Trump. Item from Breitbart. Qatar has joined Lebanon and Tunisia in becoming the latest state to ban the screening of the hit movie Wonder Woman, starring Israeli actress Gal Gadot. As Breitbart Jerusalem reported, Gadot, who served in the IDF during the 2006 Lebanon war, has come under fire for her open support of Israel, in particular for a tweet during 2014's conflict with Gaza in which she prayed for the safety of Israel's citizens. Unquote. My friends, let me finish with a prayer. All the people in Qatar and Lebanon and Tunisia, all the people who are boycotting a movie simply because the star is a Jew, may those people have fiery Holocaust visited upon them for their hatred, their racism, and their disgusting lives. We'll take a 23-hour break, and we'll be back tomorrow with more Real Truth. My friends, stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay angry. Hasta lumbago.